like I said, you might see me with the same shirt slash hairstyle because I kind of am filming some videos back to back. But anyways, in this video, I wanted to talk and um, rate the Scream franchise, like my ranking of the 6 films. I do have it written down, and I have it written down as it is right now, but I did swap in my mentally in my head. I did already switch one after I was just thinking a little bit and let it muster. But anyway, I just wanted to get right into this video so my videos don't get so long. So anyway, like I said, I'm ranking the Scream franchise, which is like a tie with Halloween, the Halloween franchise, as my favorite horror franchise. I do like this one a lot. Like, depending on my mood, I like Scream more. Sometimes I like Halloween more, but I do like Halloween and Scream equally. But I want to say maybe Scream just is always going to be my favorite, just a little bit over Halloween, mainly because all of the movies have come out when I've been alive. Where Halloween, the original, did not come out, and neither was the second one, but all the other ones have come out while I was alive. Halloween 4, that did come out the year I was born. Don't know exactly what month, but I was born early 1988. So if it came out later in 1988, then I was technically born. But anyways, let's get right on into the ranking of the Scream franchise. It's going to be short anyways because there's only 6 movies in this franchise, and there will be more, as we know. At least one more, at the most maybe 2 more to make it to kind of even it out. But anyway, I did have at number 6. I did have Scream 4, but I'm actually bumping Scream 4 up. So now, instead of number 6 being Scream 4, at number 6 is actually now Scream 5. Don't get me wrong, I really like Scream 5. I thought that it was new and fresh and brought some new life to the series, but out of all of them, I mean, at least out of the new ones, and I'm including Scream 4 in the new ones because it wasn't the original trilogy. But anyways, 6 is Scream 5. I like Scream 5 for what it was, mainly because the main thing is that they're continuing the franchise, is that they did make another one. So that was great. Anytime we can get any more Scream in the Scream series is perfect. And speaking of series, I actually enjoyed and liked the TV series. The TV series has 3 seasons, the first 2 being like a cohesive story, like one cohesive story. And then season 3, they did like something different. I guess that's probably what they were going for, I guess. But the first 2 seasons, they, especially with the end of season 2, they did this great thing. And you think, oh, at the next season, season 3, is going to continue that storyline. And we get to see who killed, what's his name? Oh my gosh. Starts with the name, right? No, not Reagan. But who killed the killer? And spoilers if you haven't seen the series, but what was it? Who was the killer? Like the boyfriend? Of course, that's original, but is it like Reagan? I haven't seen the series in a hot second, but um, it would have been great to see who killed the killer. Like, he wasn't necessarily the original killer, but he was the season 2 killer. But anyway, then we had season 3, which had a different cast. It was pretty much a different storyline, but yeah, anyway, kind of similar to Scream 5 with Scream 3. I mean, Scream, the season 3. not Scream 3, but like season 3 of the series, kind of did a 180 and had a different cast, different pretty much storyline, and kind of did what like Halloween 3 did with the whole concept of it not being, even though the first few seasons it wasn't like the Scream movies, like the Scream, technically you wouldn't even call the Scream TV series the Scream, because in the Scream TV series line, Ghostface isn't Ghostface. He's called the Lakewood Slasher. So different mask, different name for the killer. So it's not technically Ghostface like we see in the movies. So, anyways, but it still was similar in the sense you had a mass killer just killing people um, because of something that happened before. So that was where the similarity is with the concept of the series. But anyway, anywho, I liked the first 2 seasons at least of the TV series. But with Scream 5, I don't know, I can't like pinpoint exactly why it's so far my least favorite. As there's more movies coming into the franchise and even more, hopefully, more seasons of the original TV show. Hopefully that can change and maybe it can move its way up, and maybe with even more viewings, because since obviously it came out last year, hopefully with more viewings of Scream 5, I can maybe pull it further down the rankings. But so far, I think it could be that maybe it was the first in the franchise. Well, Scream 3, you didn't have that much of Neve Campbell. Like, she was in it, but she was filming a movie or something at the time, so her time wasn't as much as it could have been. So they worked around it, and she only had like 2 or 3, like a few days to film the movie. So, film that movie. I think, no, actually, maybe at that time she was on Party of Five. She was filming the TV show or another movie or vice or both even. So she didn't have as much time to film Scream 3, but still she was in, at least in my opinion, in Scream 3 quite a bit, like a heck of a lot more than she was in Scream 5, let me tell you that. But anyway, I think it could be a combination of not having her in the film that much, as well as maybe not so much. It's growing on me because I liked Scream 6 a lot. I did. And I guess it's just that I'm not used to, especially with this being the 5th movie in the franchise, you got quite a few new characters. I think it's mainly also because we got so many new characters. We got 5 technically. That's kind of ironic that I said in Scream 5 you got 5 new Scream. And but I did like that they brought back the legacy characters. Like they did technically bring back Sydney, they did bring back Gail, and they did bring back Dewey. And of course, another reason why I think that I probably don't like this one as much is because they killed Dewey off. Which is, if you are a fan of the franchise, you know that intention. Like in the first film, they were actually going to kill Dewey off. So there you go. Take that for whatever. Take that with a grain of salt, whatever. But I think that's another reason why I don't like it, with the reduced time with Neve Campbell and then killing Dewey off and things like that. And I think that after rewatching it quite a bit, I am getting used to Scream 5, and it's is slowly but surely becoming of like that. I'm enjoying it. Like I'm enjoying it more and more I watch it. But still it's number 6 for me. Number 5 is going to be Scream 4. Um, this one was at spot 6 before I switched it around. But I just don't know. I don't know why I kind of rank this one so low. I think it's probably because I do like her, but I don't like her, and I do like Emma Roberts. I do, especially now that she's, she was in, um, AHS. And if you don't know what AHS is, it's American Horror Story. So she's been in that forever. And then of course she did Scream Queen. So it's like she's now becoming a like horror icon, so to speak, or a scream queen, like literally. But um, it's just, I don't know. I liked her acting and liked her a lot better when she was younger. But then as she grew up to be an adult, I don't know. There's just something about her acting. Like, I'm not saying I don't like her acting. It's just, there's just something about her that I just, like, I know that she's not a bad well, she did her ex-boyfriend and fellow co-star in American Horror Story, but you never know if that's true or not, because people lie all the time. But I don't know, there's just something about her. Like, I still enjoy her acting, but at the same time I don't enjoy her acting. It's weird. And it almost feels like when she's acting in the roles, it almost feels like she's not acting, you know what I mean? Like, especially in this one, it seems like that's her real personality. And I know that's probably rude to say, and that is rude to say, but there's just something about her that I'm not saying, okay, I'm not going to say I don't like her, because I can't say I can't say on on somebody's behavior or who on their personality without actually knowing them. So it's just, I don't know. I just don't really like her character, even though a lot of people think that she's like one of the best, or the one that almost got away with it. But I can understand why they would think that, but at the same time, I don't really think she almost got away with it. Yeah, she was smart that she got other people to like pretty much do the crap for her, to do the shit for her, but at the same time, what did she actually do? She had other people do, and that's what I'm saying. She was smart to have other people do the things for her, but at the same time, like, she's just one of those, or at least when I'm saying I mean her character is just one of those people that just wants to be famous to be famous. She's trying to be like a Kardashian, you know? And that's what I just don't like, is that she's trying to be like a Kardashian, being famous just for being famous, or like a Hilton, Paris Hilton, just to be famous, you know? And so, yeah. And I just don't get the hype of people thinking that she almost got away with it, when actually I really don't think she did. She got caught. Getting caught doesn't mean that you almost got away with it. So yeah, Scream 4 is on Scream 4 at number 5 is Scream 4. There you go. So number 4 is Scream 6. I may actually switch that in the future and have it be Scream 6 be lower, like be maybe top 3, but I like it middle ground right now, because like I said, I like, as you can see, I like Scream 6 more than Scream 5, mainly because oh, and another thing I like about Scream 4 is Kirby. I love Hayden Panettiere. Like, there's like two different things. Emma Roberts and Hayden Panettiere, both child actors. I just like Hayden more, I guess. But anyway, Scream 6, it brought back Kirby. So you got another legacy character. So at least they got, well, I wouldn't even call Kirby a legacy character, but she is, pretty much, because she's a recurring character slash a character that has come back for another movie. But she's not like a legacy character like Sydney or Dewey was, or Gil. And I know a lot of people want Gil to be dead, like they want her to be killed off in the next film in Scream 7. And I can understand that, because I do like Gil, but and I liked her character, but I just kind of wish if anyone was supposed to be killed off in, like, say, Scream 5, I wish that was her. Because out of all of them, out of the three legacy characters, Dewey, Sydney, and Gil, I think that it would have been easier to get over if it was her that was killed in Scream 5 or in even Scream 4 or whatever. But like, I liked her and I like Courtney Cox. It's just, I agree with those statements of having Gil be the next victim in the next film, mainly because I think it's just time, and maybe that would also be a great way to bring back Sydney. Because now that Dewey's gone, then Gail would be gone, then she would be the only, then, you know, Nev Campbell's character, Sydney, would be the only one left. And so it would kind of, in a way, bring Sydney back, unless it was both Gail and Sydney's husband, Mark Kincaid, comes back. You know, maybe they kill off Gail and Mark Kincaid. Then that could also be a way for them to bring back not only Sydney, but also McDreamy. Um, so then that way you have a couple of other legacy characters coming back with Mark Kincaid and Sydney. And then that way they can kind of, well, even if they don't kill Mark Kincaid off, maybe Ghostface kidnaps their kids or something and brings them back to like Woodsboro or something. So then that way, maybe, just maybe, that can bring them back, as well as hearing that Gil was killed off or something. Or maybe, just maybe, um, what would kind of good, and this is also schmilling in with my, and I might say this in a future video for my thoughts and theories of the new movie, but maybe, just maybe, to kind of bring Sydney and Mark Kincaid back to the movie, is maybe their kids gets kidnapped, and maybe, just maybe, Ghostface calls not only obviously Mark and Sydney, but also Gail, because maybe she is the god kid, not the god, maybe not the god mom, but like she has met them a few times and met the kids and has them call her auntie or godmom or something. Or maybe she just knows them and talks to them and FaceTimes them and whatever. And maybe Ghostface calls Gail and says, hey, Sydney's kids are kidnapped. Are you going to come help find them? And maybe that can get all three of them, Mark, Sydney, and Gail, to come and find their kids in Woodsbury. Wow. I'm a little tired. But just to kind of get them all back. I think that would be a good plan, to bring them all together. So then that way, maybe in the meantime, while Mark and Sydney come to find their kids, maybe, just maybe, with Gail coming to help find them too, maybe Ghostface actually finally kills Gail in the process. Like, I know that's kind of, people are going to be like, nah, no. But hey, it would be a good way for them to get them back together. And then maybe also, not only does Ghostface call Mark, Sydney, Gail, but they also call the Core Four and say, hey, is there somebody you know named Sydney? Guess what? We've got her kids. And then maybe, since they all went through this, maybe they all decide to come. Like the Core Four, Gail and Mark and Cindy, they all try to get the kids safe and sound, you know? That could be something. And it would be kind of cool, because maybe they were all going to get together, because that's what I heard, is that this new Scream 7 was going to be around Christmas. So maybe it'll be a nice little kidnapping thing for Christmas, like, you know? And maybe it, you know, Ghostface can kind of be like, hey, what a great Christmas present is to have the kids, you know, to get the kids. What a great way to get everyone together, right? Your kids, they need, you know, they need your help getting them back, you know, things like that. So anyways, I did like Scream 6 a lot. I'm getting off pace here. I'm so sorry. ADHD, I'm telling you. But yeah, so number 4 is Scream 6. I really enjoyed that one so much. I think that they did a great job with, and I'm not sure, I'm still kind of undecisive if I still like the 3 Ghostface killers or not. But I know that in Scream, is it 2 or 3? I think it was 2 that they were going to have 3 Ghostface killers because I think it was going to be at least Ghostface killers. They were going to have 2 Ghostface killers and a third just killer, just to kill. And the 2 Ghostface killers I heard was, but then again, I think this was a dummy. Like from where I'm getting this, I think is a dummy script for 2 because there's been so many leaks of the scripts over the years for every movie. So I think that this might be just a dummy script and just something that they said to get people off of their case. But I think in Scream 2, they were going to have Hallie and Derek, the boyfriend, be the killers because similar to Scream 5, where Hallie and Derek were going, they met on the um, the message board and get another sequel. So pretty much, with Scream 5, they might have took that dummy script and just went with it. Just saying. But with Scream 6, I thought that they did a good job with it, and I actually loved Annika. Like that was, even though she was a new character for Scream 6, like they did a good job with making her so likable from the beginning that you were so mad and sad that she died. And I don't know why I didn't like. I'm not saying that I hated Scream 5 because of the Core 4, and they're calling themselves the Core 4, but it's just, it's new because it didn't focus on Sydney. You know what I mean? So it's taking some time to get used to that, not having it with focusing on Sydney because I grew up with the original trilogy that it was all about Sydney. So, anyways, but I did love Scream 6 and I loved the characters to an extent. Like, I mean, I'm not all the characters. Obviously, I loved the Core 4 and I loved Kirby and having her back. And I even liked Danny. Danny I liked a lot. And I liked Annika a lot too, R.I.P. And I liked how they kind of, with Danny, the new boyfriend of Sam, how they kind of made you think, oh my gosh, is he Ghostface? Oh my gosh, isn't he? Like maybe he is Ghostface in a future thing. Maybe he's a part. Maybe he was a part with Jason and the original one that Bailey killed in the beginning of Scream 6. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess, in the future. But a couple of things I didn't like was, as much as I love Chad, how like 2 ghost faces just stabbed him and he still survived. I mean, come on. And I heard that in Scream 5 he wasn't supposed to survive in Scream 5, but in early screenings people loved his character, so they decided to keep him and did a couple reshoots. But anyway, that being said though, I'm glad he survived. And what I did like it, but I didn't like it, it was the whole Tara Chad love thing. Like in the first one, there was no indication that there was any like love between them. It was kind of like pushed on us that they are together now. Like, Chad, did you even love Liv? Like, and that was one of the people that was kind of forgot about in Scream 5 was Liv. And I did like Liv in Scream 5 because, again, with Danny, it's like, oh, is she? Isn't she? You know, kind of, they do a good job with that. But it's like, I'm like, I think that they look cute together, like Chad and Tara, but it was kind of forced. Kind of forced. Like, what? I didn't get that. Like, in Scream 5. And then all of a sudden, in Scream 6, they're like, oh, I like you. I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyways, I did like Scream, but I like that there was 3 killers, like 3 ghost faces to make it different, but I don't think I necessarily liked the, and this is another thing I didn't like about Scream 5, and they kind of mushed together with Scream 6, is the ghost faces themselves. So Scream 5, I didn't like Richie and Amber as the ghost faces. Like, I kind of knew when I first watched Scream 5 that Amber had something to do with it / was Ghostface. So I got 1 for 1. And then I would say about third way into the film, I kind of guessed that Richie was kind of in was kind of also another one because Amber was just being weird as fuck. Like she was just being a little like I know sometimes they do it that way with characters and then they have nothing to do with it, but with her it just seemed like she was like, especially at the beginning at the hospital with Tara in the hospital, she was way too clingy and like way too protective. Like, okay, stop, you're being crazy. So early on I kind of felt like, oh my gosh, Amber is definitely one of them or has something to do with it. And I kind of had that vibes with that as well because it kind of threw back to Scream 4 of like, them recording Amber as she's getting ready and stuff like that. So anyway, and I just didn't really I like the actor who played Richie because he's the son of Dennis Quaid, so it's a Quaid, and there's a movie or slash show that the actor is in that a lot of people know and love, and I'm like, I haven't seen that. So this was the first time I ever saw this particular actor in anything. So I thought he was a great actor, but I just didn't like his character in the movie. Like, I just found him kind of suspicious throughout the whole thing. Because, and plus, that's the first thing you think of in a Scream movie is you focus on the boyfriend. That's just what you do. That's what you do. Oh my gosh, it's the boyfriend just because the first one, whatever. And so, and then the whole like motive in both of them basically was we got to fix the movie and pretty much and that's what I'm saying. Like in Scream 5, they kind of fed off of what the dope script from Scream 2 was, where they met on a message board and blah blah blah. But what I don't like is, that it was just these people that they don't know. Like, these are just random people. Random people that, like, Sydney doesn't know. Like, well, I mean, Amber, Tara, and Sam knows, technically, but just the motives are weak. It's just weak. Like, just because I wanted to make another movie better. Okay. And of course, Scream 6 I liked a little bit better because it wasn't about the movies and like, at the beginning, as you know, who gives a fuck about movies? Shh. But I just like and like I said, with Scream 2, I mean with Scream 5, they kind of did the whole Richie and Amber meeting on the message board, like that was the dummy script from Scream 2. But then again, Scream 3 or Scream 6 did the same thing with Scream 2, having a parent be like a revenge killing. Like, I don't like that. Like, be original. Don't have another parent do their whole revenge thing. Like, even though I like and love and adore Dermot Mulroney, it's just I knew like about near the beginning that it was him. Especially what sealed it was the whole scene where he called Sam at the scene where they found the Jason and the guy in the fridge, and they found um, Sam's ID there. I'm like, oh yeah, he has, because I'm like, duh, he's a police officer. He has access to that sort of shit. Like, it just, and I even kind of suspected him a little bit because, and even like Quinn, because for starters, she just kind of seemed a little off. Like the character, not the actress. Like the character seemed a little off and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, anyone who seems a little off must be crazy. And if they're crazy, they kill people. So anyway, I didn't, even as much as I liked Dermot Mulroney, I just didn't like his like being revealed as Ghostface in the sense that, again, I didn't want to have another parent revenge type of thing going on. And I did like Quinn as another Ghostface over Ethan. Like, to me, as much as I liked the kid who, like Ethan, the Ethan's actor, Jake Champion. He's a good actor, and actually, this was the first time I've ever seen him in anything either that I remember. So again, him and Dennis Quaid's son in Scream 5. I've never seen them act in anything else before. But Ethan's character in this was so like throwaway. Like they didn't need to have his character in there. If it was just um Dermot Mulroney's character and Quinn, like if it was just the two of them, it would have been just fine, and I would have liked it even more. Like Ethan was like a throwaway character. Like he did nothing except be there and look cute for all the like teenagers, the teenagers watching. And so yeah, anyways, I liked Scream 6 a lot though. So number 3 is, and I know people are probably gonna hate me, but Scream 2 is my number 3. I love this movie. I think it's a great movie, and I like this one, and I may in a second not necessarily change it, but change it. I liked Scream 2 a lot. Um, it was such a good one. I think it's a great sequel to the first. Not a lot of people think that, but I do. But number 2 is Scream 3, and a lot of people give hate on Scream 3, but I loved it. I think it's just because out of the 3, like Scream 1 through 3, like the original trilogy, growing up, it was Scream 1 and Scream 3 that I watched the most. Mainly because, like I said in my past videos, that with AMC Fear Fest or the video rental store, mainly the video rental store like Blockbuster and stuff, Scream 1 and Scream 3, especially Scream 3, was always available to rent at the video rental store. So I grew up watching like Scream 3 just as much as Scream 1. And so therefore, since I watched it so many freaking times, it just grew to be one of my favorites. But I want to say that maybe tied at number, I'm going to kind of push this down. I'm going to just have it be 5 films rank. Just because, instead of 6, because, so number 5 is Scream 4. Number 4 is Scream 4. Then number 3 is Scream 6. And number 2 is a tie between Scream 3 and Scream 2. And then obviously, number 1 is going to be Scream 1, the original. I don't think anything ever really is going to top the original, but kind of also a fair warning for a future video. Friday the 13th, the original. Besides the one jump scare, not my favorite in the franchise. So therefore, there is a franchise out there that the original is not always good. But anyway, that being said, I will kind of repeat this. I know this video is already long. I'm going to preference by saying that I'm actually putting it in 5 rankings instead of the 6 for each movie. So, because I put 2 of the movies a tie. So, because I can't choose one over the other. So, like I said, I'm not going to do 6 for the 6 movies. I'm going to do 5 in the ranking. Number 5 is Scream 5. Scream 4 is going, so Scream 4 will be at 4. Then number 3 is going to be Scream 6. And then tied at 2 is Scream 2 and Scream 3. And then, of course, number 1 is going to be the original. So that is my ranking for the Scream series. So again, put down in the comments what you thought of my ranking. And I'm sorry if I kept rambling. I have ADHD, so it's just like everywhere. But again, just like I said, comment down below what you think of my ranking. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the franchise and what your ranking is. I hope to see you guys soon and that you guys enjoyed this video, especially with all my rambling madness. I hope that you guys have a great Halloween and have a spooky season.